Hey everybody, John here with the Simplest Biz, and I'm going to go live today, and I want to answer some common questions. And if folks show up here, make sure you can hear me because and put it like a one or something on the comment section, so we can make sure I can be heard. The thing about it is, I'm using a different computer than I normally use. I'm about to get another one. So the one I have normally is in the shop. So I'm just trying to set this thing up right. Okay. All right. So 1111, love it. I just want to go over some common questions that I get all the time about the training, about the pallet business, and give you guys some ideas of what to expect and may give you some clarity on some different things. And I'm gonna cover some stuff. I kind of made some notes over here, but I'm after a little bit. Once I cover these, you're free to make some comments in a little bit and see if I can answer some of those as well. Okay, because you may have something I'm not going to cover. One of the first ones I want to go over is about doing the business, the pallet business, before you actually get in the course. Some people say, "Well, I want to do the business to actually help me pay for the training." Right? We're getting the cost of the training as well in this video. But the issue with that is that I feel I don't have a terrible problem with you doing it, but you have to think of it in these terms. If you're going to try to do the pallet business and do it the right way, there's ways of making money, of course, selling to pallet yards and stuff. But the fact of the matter is, you would have to deal with some potential customers where if you had the training, you'd be dealing with them in the right way. Okay. But going out there doing it, winging it without the training, you're going to give the impression that you're kind of a fly by nighter and don't really know your stuff, don't know the terminology, don't know, which questions to ask, and don't really how to help the businesses in the right way. So I kind of feel like you could be burning deals, good deals, if you have the information behind you by trying to earn money to pay for the course by doing the pallet business. Is the short answer. Um, it's me trying to kind of protect you in a way from not looking like you know what you're doing, because there's a lot in this training. There's 14 modules in the training that cover exactly what you need to say, which questions you ask, and then how they respond, knowing how to uh, help them out with the solutions that you have based on how they're responding to the questions. And all situations aren't the same. All suppliers aren't the same. All buyers aren't the same. So there's a ton of information in this training and in the private Facebook group to get you off to not only a fast start, but the right way and the first impression. Okay. But inevitably, I do get people asking me, can you tell me how I can just make some money at the pallet business, like doing the pallet yard thing?" Folks, I'm telling you, you're just throwing money out the window and possibly burning a deal that's worth a lot of money. Well, there's my cat. Hey, Sunday. Burning a deal that's worth a lot of money in the beginning because you might screw it up. So I have a kind of a fear for you of messing it up before you even get started. And then you get the training, but you can't go back to that business again because they're not going to listen to you because you came across as a rookie, right? So it's kind of a conundrum. I guess the solution, I have people that have had garage sales. I've bartered things that I needed as well. We have payment plans, and I'll get into the pricing and all that in just a little bit on the training. So I guess that covers that part. And good morning, everyone. Hope you guys are having a blessed day as well. Here we go. This next one I want to cover, saturation in students. Do I have students in my area? Uh, you better hope so. And you probably heard me say this before, and some of these questions you may already know the answers to. I can't tell you how many times a day there are deals being done inside the group. One student has supply, another one has a buyer, um, then vice versa. And it's not like they have become partners or anything, but there's certain situations where you have a certain buyer that needs a certain thing, and another student in that area has what you need, and y'all can work a deal out, and then pull away from each other once you've garnered the supply, right? As an example, we have students that have some storage even, or they not that I teach you how to want to teach you how to set up a pallet yard and all, but I have some students that have. And I've had students that wanted to team up with that and rent part of their area to use for storage to get out to start off. You know, again, I'm not into the storage thing now, but I have students that do what they're going to do and go out there and do storage and have a repair type stuff as well. That's all well and good. I want to keep it simple, right? Personally, but you know, there's students out there making $500,000 a month. And they build a big operation as well. Um, do they have headaches? Absolutely. By doing it that way, because I've talked to them personally. There's a lot of money in the 50 to 100 pallet per week deals, especially if you layer on corrugated boxes and dunnage and all the other items as well that they can order. So as far as saturation, if you've watched any of my videos talking about the areas I work in up in Birmingham where my business is, and down here now also near Mobile, there are little pockets, and there's thousands or hundreds and hundreds of pockets of little industrialized areas throughout the city. And a lot of business just comes from a little 2.5 block radius. Well, think how many thousands of blocks there are in any given city, or hundreds. And there's just so much. It doesn't matter. There's so much business to be had. And I want people to also realize when it comes to this business, if you have 5 customers ordering 100 pallets each, that's it. 500 pallets a week. You literally could be pulling in a couple thousand, $2,500 a week, minus gas. Because that leads me to the next question. I get this a lot. What other expenses are there but doing this business, right? So let's exclude the truck, because maybe you own a truck or a trailer or something like that. So you're sitting in high cotton, as they say. But other than that, if you really want to start off super simple, the cost are under 75 bucks. 3 straps and cranks. If you rent a truck, a lot of times they already have those on there. So you can sit in those type of cases and rent a truck one day of the week to start with and just use their straps. That's fine as well. So you're excluding even that. I think it's good to have extra straps anyway. Straps and cranks. So, you're talking $12 to $17 a piece for the straps and cranks. So that's around 40, 50 bucks. Invoice book. Don't even worry about using QuickBooks into it and all that. You can. We teach you how and how to. Um, you can use Venmo. You can use PayPal. You can have their credit card on file, QuickBooks, and all these other methods for payment when you actually start out. You can do COD when you first start out. I prefer invoicing because it makes you more professional. But so you do that, 3 cranks, invoice book. I have a hammer in my car. If there's a board popped up and that on the pallet, it's popped up a little bit and I want to pop it down and it takes me 3 seconds and that pallet's worth $7, I'm gonna swing a hammer once, right? Um, what else? I have some nails, so to pop down, I have to hit a hammer in. I'm not sitting there preparing pallets all day, I can tell you that. But if it's a 15, 20-second job, 5-second job, as far as making the pallet look a little better, I'll pop it down. Okay. Um, that's really it. Maybe a pair of gloves if you have to move a pallet left or right. If you're just doing the A to B, you're trying to help the forklift driver out, move it to the left so we can get to a stack. Fine and dandy. That's about the extent of my lifting. Um, then, so as far as that goes, the cost is really around 75 bucks. Let's cover the cost of a rental. Now, different parts, if you live in California or something, your rental is going to be a little bit more expensive. You might have heard me talk about this, but the way to go about it in the beginning is, you're starting from nothing, right? But you get out there and I teach you the place to go and what to say and all that as far as supplier and buyers. And once you line up a couple orders, schedule those orders on one day of the week, like a Tuesday or whatever you're available, Friday or whatever. There's no set time to deliver pallets in the morning or the middle of the day or the afternoon. They just need them, right? And they want them gone as far as the supplier. So don't just rent a truck every day of the week. You're just piling up your orders on one day to begin with until you build out your route. And 2 orders are 150 pallets each, 300 pallets, $6 a piece, $1,800. Pay the $125, $150 for the rental, and then you're going to net minus 1,800 minus 150 bucks, plus minus gas. $5-10 for that because we're not traveling all over the world. So you have well enough profit there to set some money aside, do that cycle, because that business you did on that Tuesday or Wednesday, you rent the truck again the next Wednesday because they run out and they need more, and then put some money aside and go out and buy a $3,600, $3,000, $2,800 flatbed, $1,000 trailer if you have something to pull it with. You can find somebody on Craigslist and use them, pay them a cut to help you if you want to go that route as well. So I'm big on letting the business pay for a truck or, by doing the rental method to begin with, or the brokering where you're not even moving stuff from point A to point B. So that moves into the next question. Brokering. Is there a way I can do brokering? Do you sell just the brokering in the training? No. And the reason being, all the other modules in the training prepare you to even do the brokering. If you just got the brokering section, you're not prepared to know the knowledge of all the other things that are laid out in the course. You got to know the verbiage. You got to know what the questions to ask. You need to know which answers to have. You need to know what problems to notice. The way the deal is laid out, whether it be A to B or you need to know the industry, right? And if you go in there with just the brokering section, you'll be poorly serving the customer, and truthfully, probably coming off of somewhat of a rookie because you haven't taken the whole course, right? The whole course provides you with everything A to Z. And if you include the private Facebook group that goes along with this training, the amount of knowledge that's in there with what I share in there and what students share is massive. So there's not a question that can't be answered with that amount of information available to you. All right, so I'm gonna put my old man glass on. I'm gonna look because I see a few comments. I always see people posting $7 to $14 pallet. While they're here in Virginia Beach, people are buying them for $4. I left New York, think here would be different, but customers are not paying a lot for a pallet. Well, regardless, it depends. When you say pallet, here's something that it gives me a little clue. When you say pallet, I believe you're thinking about standard pallets. So 2 things to understand. There's a lot of other pallets out there and customers that have a need for other pallets than just standard pallets. And the price range, I have some pallets that are, I'm a 6 foot by 6 foot, square and heavy duty. And they're going for $68 a piece, 8-foot pallets. There's wrong way. There's 5 different styles of 4840 standard pallets. There's 36 by 48 international paper pallets. There's block pallets. There's all different sorts of sizes, but knowing the types of businesses you should go after, so you're not having to concentrate on that standard pallet and those pricing that you're maybe having to deal with. You're going to have a wider price range than just the $4 a pallet. Even that being the case, let's say, I would call some pallet yards in your area and see what they're actually charging, because it sounds like with the amount of the wood crunch there's going on standards, $4 could be a low ball price that they're telling you. Even being the case, if you can get pallets for free and you're selling for $4 a piece and you moved 100 pallets that morning, what's $400 minus gas? Because you don't have that overhead. I've sold pallets for $4 a piece, way back when, and I have no issue with it, because I'm also teaching you how to move a lot of other stuff in addition to the pallets, to layer that money, second money, third money onto the deal, where maybe the pallets are just to put in the door and the real money's in the 55-gallon drums or the crates or the custom built pallets. Okay. So don't get mad at your money, as they say. But do a little bit, you're going to have to do a little bit more research. Yeah, you might have some small accounts that you're working with that maybe are paying a lower price, but some of the medium-sized ones, for the volume they need, they can't. They're going to be paying a decent price. Oh yeah, CW Hall. I don't know why I'm even wearing Auburn anymore this year. It's been. He's talking about the Alabama game coming up this weekend. Hey, they're playing at Jordan Hare Stadium down in Auburn. Hey, we could shock them. We've done it plenty of times. But again, yeah, I've kind of given up football for the year. Thank you for answering my question. Yeah, they're not willing to change 4840 because of the truckload they use. Well, then, Abed, you're going to have to either broker that deal or source out more pallets, or go for a smaller company that doesn't fill the trucks out completely. That's something a lot of people don't realize that's taught in the training, the types of business you have to go after. And there are some types of businesses that cause more headaches than others. Right. So I want to guide you to types of businesses that really match up with the way we do it and simplify our life. Because if you get the deals done correctly in the beginning, your life actually does become simple. Is there some hustle and knowledge needed in the beginning for this? Absolutely. But in the end, if you do it the right way and you find the right customers and you set the deals up in the correct way, it is really rinse and repeat in the end. And that's not going after 4840 customers necessarily. And it's not going after the big whale. My love is a Tuesday morning, a Wednesday morning, getting up and moving 3 loads of 120 pallets and pulling in that $1,600 and calling it a day, and having the same thing happen the next day and the next day and the next day, and then layering brokering deals on top of it. That's without the stress, of having to deal with the 4840 game. 10% of my business is 4840. Where in other people business, it's that do it wrong, in my opinion, is 90%. There's enough business out there for all different sources. It's really keying on the right businesses and the size businesses you need to go after, and brokering the ones that cause you headaches. But that's all spelled out in the training. Okay, we got more. Let me go on here again. John, do you think it's too late in my area of Reno to get? Absolutely not. It's not too late. There are 2.5 billion pallets in the United States. I've done videos on this, but I'm gonna hammer it again. Today, when you're out there, and I was looking for your name, Steven. When you're out there today, moving around, going around town, this, and the other, every box truck you see, every pickup truck you see, every warehouse you see, every commercial business you see, every distribution center that you see. What do you think moves everything on the planet? It's these pallets. They're full of pallets and crates and drums and dunnage. It is not too late anywhere. This is not Amazon drop shipping where there's 8 million people doing this. Um, you probably could have millions of people doing this and still have, have plenty of pallets. But, I'm just a guy selling a course that I know a lot about. I don't have some massive millions of people under me doing this. This is not multi-level marketing, guys. In any given city, USA, there's a 5-block radius that can support your family. This is really how you want to get down to it. There's a 2-block radius in some cities that can support. There's one accounts out there that can support your family. Could replace your income. One account. And I'm not talking a whale either. I'm talking an account ordering a couple hundred pallets a week, 250 corrugated boxes, and maybe some dunnage as well on a weekly basis. That type of money and that type of account to support your family. One. But, the average is getting, I like to say, get a handful. You have variety. You have at least a handful, to start with. So you have more options to work with. You've sourced more things and all that. I have a crazy amount of buyers, but you're working on suppliers. Well, I don't know, Farley. In the training, there is a massive list of suppliers. I have a lot of students. I had a student last week that was having trouble with supply. And he wasn't going inside. He wouldn't ask the questions. He wouldn't go and talking he was trying to do it over the phone, right? So we got to the bottom of it, and he checked back a few days after we had a discussion, and he started actually following the training the right way, and that switched for him. If he didn't see pallets on the outside, he can go on the inside. Well, guess what? There's a lot of pallets on the inside of these businesses, and that's the way you got to do it. And it takes time, and sometimes you have to hustle a little bit more for certain things, but that's not a bad problem to have. Okay, I want to get back to my little list I have. Can I just do broker and cover that? Will it work where I live? We kind of covered that. John, do I have to have an appointment? Do I have to make an appointment? No, absolutely not. If you've done enough research, and my God, I believe I have a lot of information out here for people to digest what this is about. I think a lot of people try to go through every video I have on YouTube and try to glean information, which that's okay. Hope they can hear me blather on that long, but it's not the training, right? But if you've digested enough information of what I have out there and kind of researched the industry in your area maybe as well, and you're ready to buy, I have a link just about under every video on YouTube that allows you to just purchase the training. If you're on your phone right now and you wanted to see that link, I haven't added to this live one yet because I have to edit it once I'm done. But you would click the button, the title, if you're on your phone, and the description opens up. And I usually have it near the bottom. Okay. And I'll put that on here as well. As far as cost, I have let me I want to phrase this the right way. I have a love for people that have done their research for this business, and I give them price breaks. It's not like I don't love the other students who just go outright buy my course, but there's different price points for my course. I give promotion or scholarship discounts for people who make appointments, or who acted within a 7-day period. So On this particular video, I am going to put the discounted price on there with a 7-day window for you to get the discounted price. But there's other ways out there where people are actually paying the price of the course. I just want good students. It makes my life more simple to have people that have done some research. And a lot of times that means making an appointment. I don't require you to make an appointment, but the fact that you did tells me that you're really taking this seriously and you're trying to want to make this work, and you're doing your due diligence. That being the case, if you're sitting here on this live, and this is kind of like an appointment in a way, I'm going to put the discounted price under this particular one. We have different methods of payment as well for this. We have an outright payment, we have a PayPal payment, and we got one other form of payment that I'll tell you about later. PayPal credit, excuse me, where you can pay it over a period of time. And then we have one other one that if you need more information on that, you can email us at thesimplestbiz@gmail.com. So be on the lookout for that. If you guys don't want an appointment, or put it this way, if you have an appointment in the future, like 4 days from now, but you want to buy it today, price will be down there, but please go ahead and take yourself off the appointment schedule. Okay. And you're not going to find it right now because I haven't put it down there, I don't believe, on this one. So y'all can do that after here if it's something you're ready to pull the trigger on. What do you do, or where do you take broken pallets if you're offering cleanup? I'm not sure if you're a student or not, but I mean, it's a simple question. A lot of people think you'd go to the dump, but no, there's actually free places to take this stuff. One place is a wood dump. There's a charge for that, but there's some strategies in the course in some cities and scenarios where we have a way of dumping them for free. There also are situations where it's not really junk. Some people just want it off their property, but they're paying us to take it away and we're still selling it as well. And sometimes that's a portion. And I got to walk you through the different scenarios of how to price all that. I'm out in the field and the training a lot. So I'm showing you in the training and in the Facebook group specific scenarios where how to handle the different cleanup scenarios that you run into. Okay. And how to structure the deal the right way where it's a win-win-win. This is a lot about win-win-win. Win for you, win for the supplier, win for the buyer, right? And what you need to do to keep that balance and everybody happy, because you need all three. You need to be happy, the buyer needs to be happy, and the supplier needs to be happy. And that sounds complicated in a way, but there are definite specific things you got to know to make that work perfectly, so you simplify your life in the end. Because if you set these deals up right, I'm gonna hammer this home. You set them up right. I mean, a 12-year-old can do it after that point, moving if they could drive. Well, it becomes really rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, week after week after week. But you got to do it right in the beginning. Farley, listen, get in the Facebook group. Yes, I have students, a student in Miami or two. Get in the Facebook group, man. I have 100 additional videos plus in the Facebook group, live videos that I've done that aren't in the training, that are clarifying the training. Tens of thousands of videos of students sharing what they're doing and where they're doing and how they're doing, and putting their own twist on it. I mean, I could tell the Facebook group on its own, the amount of information that's in there. And there's files that students create inside the Facebook group that aren't in the training. We allow them to have open source on spreadsheets and different software they use for scouting, and scripts that you come up with, contracts, and all kinds of stuff like that that are supplied by students in there. So you are missing half the game and I want you in that Facebook group. I don't care if you have to create your own profile here. I started working for Amazon for a month, and I'm using my routes to network. I've made tons of connections. Okay. Yes. Just be careful. I want people to do this the right way. I don't want you painting yourself in a corner. I don't want you blowing a life changing deal, but keep your eyes open. Absolutely. Right. Let me see if I got anything. Any other questions? Can I what kind of saturation? I think I've covered the main things that people ask. Um, the training, I'll just go over that real quick. 14 module training course out in the field. See what I see, do what I do, say what I say, go where I tell you to go. There's a file cabinet inside the training course. Outside of those modules, they have all of the different. Let's say you're doing so on the phone and you wanted to have a script, you could have it. A punch list of questions you got to ask suppliers and buyers. Very important. You know, actual answers to those questions that come into play to make the deal set up in the right way. You know, we how to get exclusivity for the supply on an ongoing basis. We don't have to worry about anybody dealing with anybody else. You know, um, the supplies that you need, the verbiage you need to know. There's it's a different language when it comes to pallets. You need to know this stuff, all the different styles of pallets and what their benefits are depending on what situation you're in to help that customer out. Consulting the client on different aspects that are going on inside the warehouse that you can help them with outside of just pallets. There's all kinds of issues, there's safety issues, there's flow issues that I cover in this thing to where you're an actual consultant for these businesses as well, where you can solve problems for them. And the more problems you solve for a business, the more you're locked in with them forever. Okay. And how to just do this simple, keep this simple as well. So that's the ongoing support inside the Facebook group and all that as well. People ask questions in there all the time and share what they're doing. Okay. So I'm going to end this right now, I believe. I hope this helped. In about 10 minutes, I have the link to the course down below here as well. And a little note, I'm going to be putting a webinar. I'm in the middle of doing it. This is going to be a massive webinar. This is not training, but it's a webinar about the pallet business. And I'm going to cover, it's going to be about probably an hour and a half, 2 hours or more long with questions and answers as far as what this business model is about with PowerPoint, everything. It takes a while to put together, but I want you guys to be on the lookout for that. Kind of trying to get it done in the next, I don't want to say a date yet, but because we got holidays coming up. So just be on the lookout for that. But guys, if anybody's ready to go and is ready to take the plunge and get going on this, the link will be below at the bottom of the description of this page. Okay. And if this ain't for you and you have researched and it's not for you, that's okay. You know, it's not, I wouldn't imagine it's for everybody, but it's a good life. I mean, it's a good life. It's fun. It's there's some problem solving, that has to go along. And I try to answer everything, but there's certain scenarios that if you have issues, I will get on the phone with you and talk to you as far as that goes as well. Okay, but it's like a treasure hunt with a map. I guess is the best way to put it. And I can't think of anything else where you have a business where you're getting, a ton of your product for free, 95% of it usually for free, and you don't have the overhead to deal with. So that's the attractiveness of the business. And the main thing is the time freedom, folks. The time freedom it supplies for you. Either do something else as well. You can do it all day long. You can spend time with your family. That's what I hear over and over and over are people that are being ground out in their normal job and they don't have the energy or the time to spend with their significant others. And it breaks my heart. And I want to I want to change the situation for as many people as possible with this training to show you that we don't have to trade time for money anymore. Okay. All right. Thanks for spending time with me. I just woke up a little while ago, so kind of puffy it looks like. Oh well. Y'all have a good one.